Having survived an abusive relationship, I know what goes inside the brain of a victim of an abusive relationship. And so, if you or someone you know are victims of abuse, if you or someone you know um, is in an abusive relationship, my hope is that through this video, I want to help you understand why it is hard sometimes for victims of abusive relationships to break free from that type of relationships. So, you know, I have experienced all of the mental and emotional chaos. Um, Being in an abusive relationship means being um, alienated from any and all feeling of safety, feeling of connection. We don't feel that. We don't feel the safety. We don't feel the connection at any level. Um, and we're constantly in a state of stress, physiologically, mentally, and emotionally. And so there are a lot of variables that play part in that context of an abusive relationship that makes it really hard for us to exit these relationships. And so, but it is not something impossible. It is possible for us, and this is also what I want to share through this video. But the point is that sometimes when we know of someone, of a victim of an abusive relationship, we tend to think, oh my God, she's so, um, I don't know, we start judging and criticizing the woman for, not being smart enough and not realizing that she's being abused mentally, emotionally, even economically by this person. We start, judging and criticizing women, and we're saying, she should leave him, she should leave this abusive relationship. Why has she not left her abuser yet? It sounds like the right thing to do, but when you are outside of that context of that relationship, when you're not stuck in that emotional and mental chaos, it's very easy to say that, she should leave that relationship. She should break free from that relationship. And so my intention through this video is to kind of bring you closer inside the brain of the victim of an abusive relationship. And so for the, for because I'm talking about my experience, and for the sake of this talk, my point is that, the abused is a woman and the abuser is a man. Um, and so, first of all, there is a lot of societal conditioning and cultural programming that takes part into um, what keeps us stuck in that vicious cycle of an abusive relationship, because we're told, as women, we're told that, men are just like that. Men tend to be, abusers. It's manly of them to mistreat a woman, or maybe be physically abusive of her. We plan so many excuses as to why a man um, would practice abuse towards a woman in a relationship. And so this culture is being planted inside of our subconscious mind, and so it plays part into why we're going to feel stuck in that relationship, and we're going to feel like it's super hard for us to break free, although it looks like the most rational thing that we can do, right? And then another level of programming is going on within the context of an abusive relationship, besides that of the society and the culture, is that of the abuser himself. When we are in that context of an abusive relationship, we're constantly hearing the abuser say that we're not enough, that everything we do isn't enough. We're being blamed for pretty much everything that happens in their lives and for all of the chaos in our relationships. And of course, culture says that we are responsible for the emotional labor of a relationship, right? As women, we take responsibility of that. We carry that baggage of the emotional labor in a relationship. And so it's always our fault. It is always, you're too emotional, you're not feminine enough, you're not sexy enough for him, you don't understand him, I don't know, you're selfish. And then, that same societal conditioning is also being planted inside a man's brain. And so he finds it very easy for an abuser, we're talking about, the mentality of an abuser, to use these excuses to justify the abuse. And so part of our programming becomes part of our own limiting beliefs about ourselves becomes, I'm not enough. I should do better. I should like stop complaining. I should not be that emotional. I should, understand him better. I should have more tolerance and more patience. That's what we are told. Women have more patience. Women are more forgiving, and so we should forgive abuse. But the thing is that all of that just um, gives permission to the abuser to continue the abuse. So when we have that programming that stops us, that really puts great obstacles in our way, um, stopping us from breaking free from these relationships. It doesn't matter really if, my mom is saying you should leave him, or, my friends are telling me you should leave this man because, he's abusing you. You're not seeing that. But it's not as easy for me to see that because, my subconscious mind controls 90 more than 90% of my behavior, my reactions, my thoughts, my emotions. And so all of that is playing part in how I evaluate the situation and how I evaluate myself. And so due to all of that programming, I'm saying, I can't break free from that relationship. I would be nothing without this relationship. Um, all relationships are like that. The problem is in me. I should be very grateful to have someone like this man in my life, and but deep down inside of you, that's a load of BS, right? I'm not explaining all of that about the programming to give you excuses as to why you should not leave an abusive relationship. I'm just making it a little bit clearer as to why you find it hard to exit an abusive relationship. And so for you to have less judgment of yourself, to criticize yourself less. And so also for you who is watching this video and you know of someone who is a victim of an abusive relationship, understand that their programming is by far more powerful. It has more effect on them than what you are saying. And so being in an abusive relationship, I have been through all of that. I have been stuck in that vicious cycle of being emotionally, energetically, mentally depleted. I was experiencing zero joy, zero happiness in that relationship. There was no connection. I could not feel any type of connection to this man. Um, but I was in love. And of course, that disconnect starts at the stage where the abuse shows up, right? So it's after the honeymoon phase of the relationship. Um, and so this also pushes me to go back to my old programming. But in every woman's journey, there will come that moment where she will, with every fiber of her being, say, this is enough. I'm not going to tolerate this any longer. I don't deserve this. I deserve to be treated with respect. I deserve to be loved. I deserve to to be respected. I deserve to be valued. I deserve to be, hi, thanks for joining. Um, and most importantly, we all deserve to feel safe in a relationship. This is the minimum that we all deserve. You know, we all deserve to be loved, to be valued, to be respected. But, relationships are the context through which we seek the most to feel safe. And so, if this is not provided for us, then um, it's not worth it. It really is not worth it. Just know that you deserve all of that. You deserve to feel safe. You deserve to be celebrated for all that you are, to be accepted for all that you are, to be loved for all that you are. And so, although you may doubt yourself at times, that's just your programming talking. This is just your brain lying to you and telling you lies. That's not true, because the truth is what you know in your heart. When all of that programming and conditioning subsides, when it's silent, when you're able to silence your mind and connect to your heart, you will know deep down that an abusive relationship is not what you deserve. Hi, thank you for joining. Um, and that you deserve better. And so at that moment, you will make your decision to exit um, that relationship. But again, my point from this video is to help you better understand your internal world, what is happening inside of you. This is not the end of, that's not everything that happens in your inner world when you are in an abusive relationship. There's a lot of damage that is happening to you physiologically, emotionally, energetically. But we will talk about that in other live videos. But my message to you is that if you are in an abusive relationship, after all of the excuses, after all of the conditioning, after all of your attempts to justify the abuse or to justify why you need to stay in that relationship, when you have exhausted all of those, then that would be the moment when you are ready to say no, when you're ready to break free and to exit that type of relationship. I just want you to know that that moment, that power that will allow you to exit that type of a relationship is not something that you acquire all of a sudden. Something is going to happen and you suddenly get that power within you, and you decide and you're able to leave. That power is within you all along. You just decide to connect to that power and to believe it, to listen to the voice of your heart, and to take that decision. It's going to be painful. It's going to be hard. Um, at some point, you maybe doubt you may doubt your decision as to why you have left that relationship. But always, always go back to the truth that you know inside of your heart, because at every time, your heart is going to tell you this is not the type of a relationship that you deserve. You deserve love, you deserve respect, you deserve to be valued, you deserve to be seen, to be valued, and you deserve to be protected. And that is one of the most important needs for us in relationships, to feel like we connect with someone we can feel safe with. This is very important for every feminine out there. When the masculine is able to hold space for the feminine within the context of a relationship, to hold space for her to bloom, to flourish, it means that she feels safe by the masculine's leadership. And this is important for every woman out there, no matter how strong and powerful she is. We need to feel safe within the leadership of the masculine in that relationship. And so safety is number one. And this is not something that is available for you within the context of an abusive relationship. An abuser is not able at any point, he's not able to give you that safety. But you're able to give it to. So the good news is that you're able to give it to yourself. So take that decision, listen to the voice that's inside of you, that very sometimes very weak, but it's still there. Your heart is still telling you that you deserve better and that you can do that, because that power is within you all along. Just connect to that place within you and take that decision. Ask for help. Um, Reach out to someone who can, support you on that journey. Look for resources in your community on how to receive that kind of support so that you're better able to exit abusive relationships. But do that. It's hard, but it's not impossible. A lot of women have been through abusive relationships and they were successfully able to break free. I'm one of them. So many of my clients are also previous victims of abusive relationships. Even before they start coaching, they start, their healing journey. They get to that point where they are able to just tap into that power. It's not like they bring it from somewhere. You don't buy that power and just wear it. It's there within you all the time. You just choose to connect to it. You just choose to tap into that power. And based on that, you take that decision. Thank you to all the ladies who have watched and the gentlemen as well. If you or someone you know is a victim of an abusive relationship and you um, need that support that is going to help you manage that emotional chaos, manage that mental and energetic chaos, that is going to give you the support you need to um, break free from these relationships, do reach out. Let's connect. I'm always a message away. You can also book your free session through the link in my bio, and you and I can talk more about my coaching program and how it can help you to build your emotional resilience, tap into your feminine power, and lead your life um, through expressing and embodying your unique feminine essence. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next life.